Hey everybody, this is Tuesday Noon Live with Travis Park Church. I'm Pastor Eric, and I'm here with Brock Curry, the chair of the church council. How's your day going, Brock?
Good, so far.
Good, thanks for being here. And Caroline Bonner-Collins, our music director. And we just wanted to share a little about some exciting stuff happening in the life of Travis Park Church right now. And of course, would love to hear any questions that y'all have. And go ahead and leave us a comment, share with a friend, and we'll be on here for the next 20 minutes or so, and look forward to this conversation. So thanks so much, Brock and Caroline, for joining us today. This is relatively new. Caroline's done a couple of episodes. We used to be Wednesday Noon Live, and we transitioned to Tuesdays starting last week when Pastor Gavin was talking with Mark Stolce, the new executive director of Corazon Ministries. I think this is a fun kind of midweek way for us to connect, and would love to hear from y'all in this time. So one of the things I wanted to talk about today was that on Sunday mornings, we have started our annual campaign around gratitude and generosity. The sort of churchy word that we like to use for it is stewardship. And I've just been thinking about what stewardship means, particularly what stewardship means in this time of COVID. We've been talking about building up and reaching out is sort of our theme for this year's stewardship season. And I appreciate this opportunity to be kind of intentional. I hope it's all year round that we talk about how we need everybody's voices and gifts, everybody's financial gifts. But this is a time to sort of focus on that and look ahead to what God has in store for us for next year. So I have a few thoughts, but what's been percolating for y'all in engaging these sermons and this theme of building up, reaching out these last few weeks, talking about stewardship?
Well, I particularly like the Sonia Erb's comments last Sunday and her visit with you on stewardship. I thought it resonated with me, and I hope with a lot of the congregation, of the importance of stewardship and our continuing need to invest, if you will, in Travis Park Church as our home. And I've gotten a lot out of the sermons the last few weeks on this topic, so I appreciate those.
That's great. And those are continue to be available. If you don't catch them live on Sunday morning at 9:45, you can still check them out at the Travis Park Church Facebook page or travispark.org/worship, or on YouTube. So, speaking of, so Sonia, one of the things I appreciated that Sonia shared was that giving has been, and just getting involved with the church has been sort of an ongoing process for her. And Caroline, I'd love to hear, you have a lot of different perspectives, having grown up at Travis Park Church, having come back after college and getting involved, and now serving on staff. What's that process of giving in the life of the church how's that evolved for you through all that time?
Sure. So something that, and I'm so glad that you got to interview Sonia, because she said something that also resonated with me. And that is that I can't do everything. Travis Park has so many ministries and so much outreach that goes on, and I can't be a part of all of those facets. I have 2 young children at home, and I can't be everywhere all at once. And so something that I can do is help support those people who can give more of their time to be places and to be a part of those different missions and ministries that I might not be able to give my time as much to be a part of, but I can support them through my financial gifts. And to me, that's really important, especially in this kind of phase of my life where I am on staff at church. I do have a job and blessed with that. And that has been something that's changed as kind of I've grown up in the life of Travis Park. As a younger person, especially before college, I considered my gifts to Travis Park as my participation and my presence, showing up to different events, participating specifically in the music ministries of the church. I've always been very passionate about that and very active. In choirs from Littlest Angels, which is like preschool age through 12th grade in the youth choir. Those were ways that I gave to the church with my gifts as I grew up. And then coming back after college and as an adult, not only giving my gifts to be a part of those kinds of missions and ministries, but also to be able to give financially to support those that can give in different facets and different missions. And so those are kinds of ways that Sonia touched on the other day that I really was thankful for, that she put into words about giving.
Right.
Yeah, amen. I mean, I think about that a lot, and I think especially during these COVID times that I can't be everywhere, and it's a way of kind of giving legs, I think, to the diversity of our congregation,
Absolutely.
and being the body of Christ, and saying I can't and I don't have to physically do everything. We like to talk about physical distancing rather than social distancing. We're still engaging socially, whether that's all the things that we're doing online or Cornerstone Ministries, continuing work on the sidewalk with our street friends. I can't be everywhere at once, except that I can when I give. So,
right.
Brock,
If I could just tag on to that, I appreciate what Caroline said. That the nice thing about supporting Travis Park for me is just that when I'm talking to someone in the community, a friend or anyone, and we talk about if Travis Park comes up, they may say, oh, well, Travis Park's the church that does X, Y, Z, and it's nice to be able to, even if I'm not physically involved with X, Y, and Z on a daily basis, it's nice to know that that's my home church, and I'm proud of those different things that the church does, and I can help support. So I think that's spot on.
Absolutely.
Amen. Brock, you particularly, and the church council has been working so hard. You and I sent a letter about a month ago, maybe, talking about financial vitality, and that's been one of our goals as a church council. What thoughts do you have about? I mean, I think that's an important part of stewardship. We've been doing we've been really enjoying Erica Steiner, our children's director, put together this journal, and we've been engaging this each night at our dinner table. And one of the great questions recently was how, we need to say thank you, but also how do we act out our thank you? And one of those ways that the kids brought was great was that we take care of what we've been given. And so whether that's Legos or taking care of creation in nature, we're taking care of one another and what it means to be the community of Travis Park. That we want to use our resources well. And maybe Brock, you can speak to kind of how financial vitality is part of good stewardship for us.
Well, yeah, that's kind of a broad topic, but Travis Park has been blessed throughout its life, dating back to almost 175 years now. And we've been blessed by those that have gone before and have kind of had the vision of what this church could be and has been and will continue to be. Maintaining the financial vitality of the church is vital. We're a downtown church that's, the buildings aren't 175 years old necessarily, but some of them are pushing that. And so there's a lot going on with respect to you know, we're still in conversations of redeveloping our site, and hope to have some exciting news on that probably in 2021, if not, well, probably in 2021 early. And you know, it'll be an investment in the future of Travis Park, looking down the road. In the meantime, you know, the challenges of our congregation, from the ministries that we do to the folks that support those ministries. I think it's the financial vitality is very important. I'm sorry, I'm kind of rambling, but one of the things that was set up years ago was the Travis Park Foundation, and that was, you know, a separate 501c3 supporting organization that supports Travis Park Church, and we have been blessed by their continued support of the church and our mission for years. And you'll be hearing more about the foundation in the coming weeks. But if you don't already know, but they're a vital piece. And again, it's an example of our forebears, are the people that have preceded us at this congregation, that have left their financial resources to fund future needs of the church that outlive them by far. And so that was kind of rambling, but
yeah, no, I mean, what an amazing gift. A couple weeks ago when we started our series, I preached on the idea of planting sequoias,
right,
with All Saints Day, and that we really stand on the shoulders of these people who gave so greatly that went before us, and we're still reaping from what we did not sow, right? That people sowed with us in mind, and that we want to be the same for future generations, that it's really an act of hope and faith to do something like plant sequoias. And we talked about how there's that drive through sequoia tree, that now the tree has died because people sort of passed through, and instead maybe we can be making those kinds of investments for the future. But like with creation, I think it's been really helpful for me to think during the season about how important it is that we really want to be able to be transparent with what we're doing, and be able to say to the congregation and our neighbors that we're prayerfully working hard to use everybody's gifts in the very best way that we can. And so I think especially during COVID days, that means we're always sort of rethinking, you know, what we used to do is not the same thing that we're called to do now. We have a different kind of relationship with the building. Caroline especially has helped us with the steep learning curve of bringing things online, and we continue to do the ministry, and that hasn't changed. That we're about gathering a community of disciples, of followers of Jesus, who share God's unconditional love and justice in action. That's not going to change, but the way that we do it is in so much transition. Right. So through this time, I think we're really trying to say, how do we match up our resources with being about that mission in the best way that we can. So I'm really grateful for both of you helping us in that. So the sermon series, our theme for the year, and hopefully you've gotten mail. Maybe you're getting hard copy mail. I don't know if either of you have gotten it yet, but hard copy mail that has a letter from me and Sonia, who we saw last Sunday, and a pledge card that looks like this. My kids have been giving, so I think this is Jacob's pledge card, and he was talking about how much he was going to give over time. He was like, this year I'm going to give 117. He's just learning to read. He's 5. He's like, I'm going to give 117 this year, and then 83, and then 188, and then 450. His allowance may not go that far. But I'm really grateful for engaging this with our kids, as we're all learning to give. But the theme this year that you can check out in that letter, if you didn't get a hard copy, you can go to travispark.org/donate, and these materials are all there. You can submit a pledge card online. But in this theme of building up and reaching out, and Caroline especially reminded me that we're talking about building up a community, that the church is not a building or an event, but a building is sure helpful. And I love how Travis Park, whether it was with the overnight shelter last year, or with the work with Cornerstone Ministries, or AA meetings are one of the few things that are happening in our building now every day. And so building is a great tool for ministry for us, and really strategic with our presence and mission downtown. So Brock, the many things Brock does, he's the chair of the building committee also. Do you want to give us any updates on kind of the repairs, and you spoke a little bit to our thoughts about the youth building ahead?
Yeah, so there's it's kind of a complicated situation that we find ourselves. I'll try not to be too complicated in my explanation, but you may remember a couple of years ago we started this idea of redeveloping the campus of the church. In other words, those buildings that aren't part of the sanctuary. And there are, and for those of you that don't know, there's our campus consists of basically 4 buildings, the sanctuary, and then 3 buildings that form an L around the sanctuary, in addition to our surface parking lot. And so we started a couple of years talking about what can we do to make better use of our space, and maybe develop some revenue stream that would sustain the church, going forward. Those things kind of took a back seat when the roof collapsed of the youth building. I think we mentioned in one of our previous letters that we're very fortunate that I think the portion of the church that was flooded when the roof collapsed last October of 2019, that work has been done, and we've rebounded from that, so all the non-youth building areas are back to normal. The youth building itself is still a work in progress. We are in the process of getting a cost estimate from an architect that we've hired a team to kind of evaluate what it's going to cost to rebuild the youth building. So at the same time, as we're getting that project complete and figuring out where we want to go with the youth building, we've started having more conversations internally and externally on the redevelopment of the entire campus. So it's kind of early to say how all those things are going to fit together, but I'm beginning to see some things emerge that could be really exciting, and I'm hoping, like I said earlier, I'm hoping that by first quarter of 2021, we'll be able to have some more conversations with the congregation in terms of what our next steps are on both of those fronts, both the youth building and the redevelopment. So.
Yeah, I mean, we've been through a lot, and in crisis there's opportunity, right? Like, I think we are trying really hard to not just talk about like how do we get back to what it was, but like how can we do it better, and how can we do it in a way that's more fit to what we need to be doing in ministry now. And so I really like this idea. I mean, at my best, in the hopeful days, I can think about, how can we be creative and innovative, and we have an opportunity to do new things. So some things, I feel like it's not just like we got it back to what it was, but it's better. So like an example that I think of is the nursery. Like, our kids enjoy the nursery every week when we're there in person. and it's brightly painted and more opened up now. And there's just a few things like that it's like, oh, the space is better. It fits us better. And that's exciting. Caroline, do you have any kind of thoughts about the changes that you've seen around the building?
Yeah, so I've gone to the church a few times since COVID has been upon us, and so that I can do some recordings with Lana, our magnificent pianist and organist. And there's new carpet in the sanctuary that's beautiful. And obviously, y'all have all heard our organ is repaired and in working order now. And Lana makes it sing every week, which is so exciting. And McNeese Hall has been repainted and it just looks so fresh and bright. And so I'm excited for whenever in the future it is that a wider portion of our congregation can see those changes, that y'all will love it as much as I have loved it, and the hard work that went into, selecting colors and, the minute details of those kinds of things. But it really looks beautiful and fresh. And so it's hard to believe that our church flooded basically a year ago. And so much has happened since then. But there have been a lot of wonderful changes and updates, like Eric talked about, and Brock. And so I hope that y'all will enjoy them as much as I have in seeing them.
Yeah, what a celebration that is going to be when we're able to be together safely. Yeah, that's exciting to think about, being together in the building again. And we're looking forward to that day and finding other ways to keep connecting in the meantime. So thanks for all that both of you have done in that. Caroline, I want to talk a little bit about music. Again, it's been so great to have you back, having grown up at the church and attended as a young adult and now on staff as our music director. I'm really excited about what we've been doing musically, including what we've been doing musically. Oh, and speaking of back to better, the organ guts are now in a better place, like they used to be in the youth building. And one blessing of all this has been moving that to a more accessible place, so the organ is actually better and easier for us to think through the redevelopment of the youth building. But anyway, during COVID, we've been doing some great stuff musically. I love the virtual choir. I think, Brock, you and your family have been part of some of them that have been beautiful to put together. I'm excited about, we're contributing music to the Transgender Day of Remembrance we host every year. We're hosting it online this year, and that's this upcoming Friday night. But our choir will be there supporting that work. Let's talk a little bit about what's happening with music. Most especially, want to give a pitch for this Sunday. We will have an opportunity to come together physically, safely, distanced, like a drive-in theater with music. So tell us more about what's happening on Sunday.
Yes, speaking about a time where we can all be together and how things look different now than maybe they did a year ago. We are having a drive-in hymn sing this Sunday at University United Methodist in their North Campus parking lot. It will start at 2:30 p.m. It'll last 45 minutes to an hour, and you'll come and stay in your car, and the hymns will all be on our website so that you can see the music and the words, and you will sing along with Andrew Hubbard, our celebration leader, and Lana will play and I will sing, and you will have the opportunity to finally sing. That is something that I have really missed, is singing with other people. And I know a lot of people have missed that opportunity for spirituality and rejoicing. And so come on this Sunday, the 22nd, to UUMC parking lot at 2:30 and sing with us. We're going to sing about 14 hymns, and I couldn't be more excited. It's going to be a really great way to be together safely, distanced, and I just can't wait. I'm really excited to do this. I'm so thankful for all of the choir members like Brock and his wife Betty who have participated in the virtual choirs. Even Brock's children, Emily and Sam, have participated. The beautiful thing, I always try to look for the blessings in difficult times. And one thing that I have loved about this virtual time is that people can participate who wouldn't otherwise be able to participate because of distance. We've had a few other choir members, siblings who sing, have contributed and participated. My sister who lives in New York City has been able to participate, which I love. And that's one of the big joys in my life is singing with her and my mother. And my husband, Kevin, thankfully. And so that's something that I've loved about this virtual time is giving people the opportunity to participate who normally would not be able to. But there's nothing like singing with other people with you. And that is where our hymn sing is going to kind of fill that void in a safe way. If you leave your vehicles or anything like that, we'll ask that you wear a mask so that everyone can be safe and comfortable and protected and healthy. But when you're in your car singing along, you can take your mask off and sing with the other people in your car, and it'll almost be like we're all singing in one big group. So come and join us. It's going to be really great. I couldn't be more excited. Let's make music.
Absolutely. I love making music with y'all. So Sunday, 2:30, University UMC. It's going to be great. I think it's a great time of sort of an act of thanksgiving, getting to sing our praises and thank yous to God.
Yeah, we're going to send out an email tomorrow that has all of the specific information. So if you want to be sure to receive that email that has a map of where to go in the parking lot, because I know University UMC has a large campus. And so if you want that map and the hymns we're going to do, and if you want to be able to like print out the music ahead of time instead of just looking at it on your screen in the parking lot while you're there, make sure to visit our website and so that you can get on our email list so that you can get all of that great information. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Again, bring a friend, somebody in your pod, or they can be in another car. It's going to be a great time, 2:30 this Sunday. Another reason to come is that we'll be distributing take-home materials for everybody to observe Advent and Christmas Eve at home. And so look for
our children's director, Eric, Eric,
you're good.
Has put together these awesome packets of Advent materials. So there's something specific for families with children and youth. There's also things for all families, no matter what you look like or how large or small your family might be. And you'll also be receiving Advent candles so that you can participate in the lighting of our Advent candle during our Advent season and Christmas Eve. We have something exciting in store for Christmas Eve with the singing of Silent Night and doing that within your homes. So all of those things will, you'll be able to receive those things at the hymn sing on Sunday at 2:30.
It's awesome. So many things happening in the life of our church, and we hope that we can help you get plugged in. Talk to one of us, Pastor Gavin or Pastor Valerie. Talk to Sonia about questions that you might have about the stewardship campaign. There's so much more that we could be talking about. Brock, I want to hear about what happened to your scooter. Caroline, I just found out recently that Kevin was not a singer until Caroline, part of the fruit of their marriage was.
Wow.
That's where I knew he really loved me. When we started
a quartet or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew he really loved me when he started singing in the church choir because he knew that would make me happy, and it did. So I'm so thankful for that because it's made doing virtual music so much easier to have a male singer in my house, in my bubble.
Y'all's 4-part Hallelujah chorus for All Saints Day, y'all should check it out. Like, that is really impressive to have 4 voices sing the Hallelujah chorus.
Absolutely.
That was awesome.
It was fun and challenging.
I bet.
Hey, Eric.
Yeah.
Can I just jump in real quick? I just want to take this opportunity on behalf of the congregation and the church council for sure. I just want to express my appreciation to both you and Caroline as well as the whole staff, for everything y'all have done in terms of the logistics, the technology, the creativity to keep us worshiping together as a congregation. And I think the hymn sing on coming up on Sunday is a good example, but there's any number of examples of things that you all have done to keep us engaged. And I know it's been like drinking from a fire hose for in a number of respects, but I just express my appreciation. I think the appreciation of the congregation.
Thank you,
all
Brock.
It's
Brock,
really
you're doing so much. So it takes all of our parts. It takes all of our bricks in the building. It takes all of our voices.
all of our gifts.
So thank you for everyone out there for the gifts that you bring, the voice that you bring. You're an important part of what we're doing. So thank you both. Yeah, I mean, there's so much more we could say. Handbells are happening during Advent. There's great stuff happening with Wednesday night. Youth music is talking about protest songs. I'd love to hear more about that. I know our kids are going to be part of Joyful Noise special stuff for Christmas.
Nice.
Yeah, there's really great
There's
stuff.
a lot going on. Being
Yeah.
virtual does not mean that life stops. It just gives new opportunities for great things.
That's right. That's right. So thank you for all that both of you bring in your leadership, and thank you to everybody out there. We'll talk to you soon. Yeah, thanks for being part of today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.